can see people are still streaming in. We have 2 webinars on tourism going on in Kenya at this hour, and therefore maybe that's why we still have people who are trying to join us. So today we are going to look into a dream team for new business, and this will be part 2. We looked at part 1 last week, and I believe we've all assessed our situations or are still doing so. And we have either done the first aid to stop the bleeding of the organization, or we are still doing first aid. So before I continue, I'd like to hear from you, and this will be on the chat. What was the most important insight that you gained from the last week's webinar? That is on the Dream Team for New Business 1. What was the most important insight you gained from the first session of this topic? You can use the chat just to show me that we are still together. And as I had said earlier, for those people who were present, I said it's cold, and therefore I need to be warmed up. So you can go to the chat and tell us what is the most important insight that you got from the first section of this topic, Dream Team for New Business. We covered that last week. Any insight you got from the first session? On the chat, let's go. I want to hear someone, I want to read from someone. It was essential to know the difference between a group and a team. That is from Christiana Joyce Okwambi. Essential to know the difference between group and a team. What about the others? Oh, let me not freeze on my seat. Talk to me, answer me. What did you get from that, the first session? We went through a lot, not just the difference between group and a team. You know, we normally say that it is consistency that makes a difference between the best and the rest. And it's not just coming to the webinar, listening, saying it was good, calling the conductor, it was good, maybe an email here, an email there, and then you leave it at that. It's good for us to go back and then start taking actions towards the right direction. Any other person who would like to share on the most important insight you gained? Are we there? Maybe we are not there. Caroline, can you confirm I'm audible?
You're very audible. I think maybe people are a bit shy, but Zainab has responded.
At least I see Zainab. Hi, Mary. Important insight I got is to handpick the best, to take action and forge ahead in confidence. Very good. Thank you so much, Zainab and Christiana, for keeping me here. At least I know that I'm talking to people and not just laptops or cameras that have been, oh, Grace Wakesho. Hi, the different team roles in a team. Very, very important. And that is what we are continuing with today, because we want to see what are these roles that each and every person brings into the team. So the mystery of a team. Last week, we watched a small video on the cat story. And this was from a company called Struggle and Company. And from this, we saw different types of people in the company, different types of people in the team. But we realized that people who share a common direction and sense of community will work together in an easier and quicker manner. And we said that we need to be aware of the three who are making the team not work or not produce as expected. We looked at the potential troublemakers, the suppressive people, the less effective doers. And imagine if you're able to do away with all the negative influencers in your team. How would your team be? So the mystery of a team is working together. And here we see geese or swines moving together. And we can see the shape that they have formed. I'm sure this is not a new thing to us, particularly in the tourism industry. We know of migration of birds. And as a result of this, you can see these geese are moving and forming a V shape. Why a V shape? What is the mystery of this? The leading bird, that is the first bird, is the one that makes maximum effort. And after making that maximum effort to maintain their speed, the others spared less energy to travel, and they all travel at the same speed. So this first one has paved the way. This first one is the leader with a vision, with a mission, knowing where the company is heading to. And this is the person who is you as the business owner, ensuring that you pave the way, you break the wind for others to follow. And when they follow, the mystery is that when you fly together, you'll be able to save 20% of energy for the whole team. Imagine 20% of energy for all of you. That means going home on time, coming to work on time, and ensuring that you achieve much more. It also means that they will fly 5 kilometers per hour more faster, 5 kilometers per hour, more faster than when an individual is going together. Isn't that a mystery? Then we say that if they go in flocks of 25, they can fly 70% further than when they are flying on their own. So what does this mean? This means that when they are together, there is synergy, where the whole is greater than the sums of the part thereof. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts thereof. So, what is the lifetime value of your customer now? Because it has changed. What are they looking for? This is what is calling for a new team, and we started last week. And now we are going to look at different profiles of the team, because earlier on, we may not have put more effort in things like social media, in things like technology. Now it is becoming not only a must, but a prerequisite before any business is set up, calling for a different team altogether. We looked at natural energies, and just to remind ourselves what natural energies were, this is a flow, a state of flow, where you fully immerse into an activity with less or no resistance, meaning that there is no friction, there's no struggle, you are just moving in that kind of energy. And we discussed the 4 types of energy, so I don't want to repeat the same. And these energies, sometimes they are called, in sports, we call them zones. Zones. And like, for example, in soccer game, we have about 17, 18 zones. And I think my favorite is zone 14, which we normally call the golden square. This is just in front of the scoring goalpost. This is when you all stand up, ready and waiting and looking, eager to know, will we score or not? This zone 14 calls for a special energy. It calls for a special person. And therefore, a defender might not be the one required there. That is why we need to look at these natural energies that we have in front of us to understand the profiles behind each one of them. And when we understand the profiles behind them, then we will be able to move. Imagine from a recent, that is 2018 survey, 85% of employees hate their jobs. 85% of employees hate their jobs. Why would they be hating the job that they applied to and signed you as faithful and said that they will do it? That is why they were ready, crying and begging. It could be the alignment whereby you've given them a job that does not match their natural energy. And as a result of that, they are struggling too much. Or it could also be the natural energy of the leader, because these energies, if a leader has one, it will flow to the employees. And we saw, like, for example, the activating energy. This one is calling for action, action, action. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And therefore, if a leader is not careful, you may not realize that some people are falling. You are pushing them to the wall, and they cannot be able to manage it. So it is important also, as we are going through this, you look at yourself and you ask yourself, what kind of natural energy do I flow into, or do I flow with? And therefore, I call for Caroline just to take us through the poll question. Take us through the poll question. And here we want to know from you as an individual. You can see two of them has come, and she had said that you only react to the first one. And the first one is, what kind of natural energy do you flow in? What kind of natural energy do you flow in? Remember, we said that in the activating energy, these are people who like to answer the question, what? Because they are the engineers, they are the igniters. So what are we doing? There's the inspiring energy, who are people-oriented and would like to answer the question, who? We have the sustaining energy. When do we do it? When do we start? When do we implement? And we have the refining energy. How do we do it? Trying to ask different questions. So please take a minute and fill in what kind of energy flows in you. Is it the activating, the inspiring, the sustaining, and refining? Just 1 minute. We want to continue. Just 1 minute. I'll not give more than that, because the session might take longer than expected if we start giving it more time. 1 minute. Caroline, are we getting some polls, responses?
Yes, we are. So far, we only have 2 responses. So I really would like to encourage everyone to just do the poll. But so far, the most energies that have the highest percentage is inspiring energy and then sustaining energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the least is activating energy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we know ourselves, and it's good for us to understand ourselves, because if you don't understand yourself, then nobody will ever understand you. And remember, you're the leader. And this is what makes us spend more time or less time on the areas that we are working on. You may find that the area you are working on, you're just doing minimum contribution, and wasting more time and energy in that, making it harder and harder for you. So what kind of energy are you? Carol, I am almost closing this session.
Okay, so the most, still it stands, inspiring energy has the most, then sustaining energy, then refining, and then activating.
Okay, then I think at that we can close the poll. I would imagine maybe there could be some people who are still wondering, where am I? Who am I? And it's important that we go through that in our own free time. So let's move on, Caroline, just close the poll.
Okay.
Okay, and we looked at this last time, and we now want to go deeper into these team profiles to understand them. The activating energy, we looked at 8 different profiles, and today I want us to go deeper into them. And looking at, for example, the activating energy, we can see that it is, the middle of it is catalyst. On the right-hand side, we have champion, and on the left-hand side, we have calibrator. We have catalyst, champion, and calibrator. We have the inspiring energy. In the middle, we have coach. Right-hand side, we have connector, and left-hand side, we have the champion. The sustaining energy, we have a custodian, we have the cultivator and the connector. The refining energy, we have the conductor, we have the cultivator, and we have the calibrator. Those are the 8 team profiles. And as you can see, each energy is touching about 3 different profiles. What does that mean? What does that tell us? It comes to a concept that we call a pendulum concept. And I would like us to go back to our physics of a pendulum, where weight is suspended and it swings freely, but then it rests in its equilibrium position due to the force of gravity. And here, looking at the 3 different profiles in each of these energies, it means that, for example, in the activating, one might be having the catalyst profile is the most heavy, which is what we also call the primary profile. The primary profile is what is in the middle, and might also be having some secondary profiles, champion and calibrator. When we come to the inspiring, the same coach is the one in the middle. And therefore, after we swing, we can swing to whichever direction, but then that is the equilibrium position. What does that mean to us? That means that we are not tied down to one particular energy. You may find that you have 3 or even 4 different kinds of energy, and therefore can be able to work on different profiles. But then that does not mean that you do not have your equilibrium position where you go back to. And where you are going back to is where you use less force, very little energy, because it is already in you. During the critical moment, when you are under a lot of pressure and you need to make decisions, this energy that is at the equilibrium position takes over. I don't want us to go deeper into physics and psychology, but it is very important for us to understand that concept of primary and secondary profiles, because when you're coming up with a team, you'll be looking on that. So the catalyst profile. The catalyst profile, as we saw, it's coming from the activating energy, and it is a primary profile in that energy. So what is a catalyst profile? Who is this person who possesses this profile of a catalyst? Just like the word catalyst there means in the normal language. This is the person who naturally brings change through some reactions and interactions, and brings this change in a very vibrant way. The person is an accelerator or an igniter of change. The person is dynamic, stimulating, driven, and exciting. He's a natural innovator. So when you have a catalyst profile in your team, this is the person who will naturally be bringing new ideas, who will be coming up with new approaches, who will be excelling at getting something going with energy. And oftenly, this person will be stimulating new ideas because of being self-driven towards new ideas. You'll find the person also being a starter of businesses or projects, coming up with that new itinerary that you want, coming up with that new product that you have never thought about, because to them normal is boring, and therefore they like working without that box. So when this profile is in your company, this is a profile that you really have to take care of, because you cannot be able to contain them. And remember, they answer to the question, what? So if you ask them how, if you ask them who or when, you may throw them off balance. And it is important for us to remember that because of this energy, they will be easily plugging into new ideas and into new visions of the future. They want to see the bigger picture and will not work with the small things that you have. So the next one that I would like us to look at is the champion profile. The champion profile was on the right-hand side of the catalyst profile, or of the catalyst energy. And just like the word goes, champion is this person who is always shining, who is always excited and would like others to join in this excitement. The person always look at themselves as winners, a champion, a trailblazer, somebody who is like a thunderbolt, strike of lightning, who would like to shake up the status quo, is not ready to work with the status quo, who would like to stir up people to join them. And what they use more is their personal credibility. They use their personal credibility. So champions are always credible. And as a result of this, they shine the light on the cost of what they are doing, inciting others to join them. And because of their vibrance and their excitement, it is very hard for the others to resist to their ideas. It is very hard for others to say no. Remember, they are credible people. So what they say has weight. And they always excel in taking proven ideas and broadcasting its values. Look at the two, catalyst and champion. The catalyst is coming up with a brand new thing. The champion might not necessarily come up with a brand new thing, but it is that idea that he or she had, working on it, doing some research and seeing that it is a proven idea, and then broadcasting the values to a wide audience to gather support and ensure that they also become enthusiastic to belong to that team that is working. So we have covered the catalyst and the champion profiles. And I would like us to enter into the next phase of inspiring energy. Remember, the champion is a secondary profile between activating and inspiring. And in this inspiring, we are going to look at coach and the connector profile. So the coach profile. Who is a coach? Who is a coach? Look, for example, like in a soccer game or in any game for that matter, a coach is the one giving the rules, giving advice, trying to inspire others, trying to ignite that greatness. Yes, you can do it. You are doing very well. No, here you need to do that. You need to do the other. Bringing in passion into the team, ensuring that they are focused on the central idea, bringing that idea that they have to life because it is in them. The coach is not trying to bring in something new. The coach is trying to assist the other team members, light up the path for them so that they may strive for personal excellence. And the personal excellence will ultimately give us the team success. So what does he or she do? They bring warmth and energy and inspiration. And when they do this, people are lit up. They can now think clearly. They question themselves and they are able to correct themselves to get the self-mastery into what they are doing. Coach profile also helps to overcome challenges by giving ideas, by showing how you can select from the options that you have. And they do this through understanding of people. They understand people and they are also empathetic. They fit so well in other people's shoes. They are good listeners and they are able to assist others go deeper into themselves and bring out their best. And a coach profile can either be an internal or an external coach, not necessarily in the company. It can also be a profile that is gotten from out there. So let's look at the connector profile. The connector profile. Just like that word goes, connector. This is the person who is connecting from one end to the other. A person who is bringing people and ideas and resources together, connecting all these. You have these people, you have these ideas from all these team members, you have your resources, and like a lake into which all rivers flow, this person is so specially gifted that they try to unite the right people at the right time, at the right place. That is why this is a connector, connecting the right people at the right time and at the right place. So what is their role? Their role is building bridges. Building bridges is what they know how to do best. And this they do by bringing all these together, and most importantly, by understanding the needs out there, what people really need, the opportunities available, and matching them together. Looking at that cable there, if you bring in a cable that is not of that size, no matter what you do, you'll not be able to get power. But if you bring in the right cable, then you're able to get power. So this connector profile understands the needs and look at the resources, matches the two, and is able to bring them together. They always pave a way forward by doing this. And this can only be done if one is a great communicator. So this connecting profile excel in communication, being able to talk through ideas, through challenges and solutions to create a collective way forward. And remember, the person is connecting or uniting the right people at the right time and the right place. So having gone through the right things. And this profile is normally the best for customer relations because they look at people out there, they understand their needs, they know what is in the company, the resources of the company, they know the opportunities in the company, and they are able to collectively put them together at the right time. Time is of essence. To a connector, time is of essence. And at the right place. So we are still moving on, and we now come to the sustaining energy, where we will look at the custodian and we will look at the cultivator. Remember, the custodian is the primary profile. The cultivator will be a secondary profile. So custodian profile, custody, keeping safe, ensuring that the company is committed. The company honors the promise. This is what we have. This is what we said, and we must do it. And this is why this profile, or remember, custodian is falling under the sustaining profile. And the question that they know how to answer best is when. And therefore, when we look at the custodian profile, the person would like to understand, how will we honor the promise? Do we have the ability to do it? And they do this through their ability to nurture and support ideas of others, and not just nurturing and supporting them, but also bringing them to life while guarding and protecting the company's assets and resources under their care. So the custodian is so much into our public image. The custodian would like to guard and protect what we have. And to do this, they need to be gentle, supportive, grounded by their understanding of reality. That is why they are asking when, so that they go back to the drawing board. Do we really have the resources to do that? Are we capable? Will it work? So practical consideration, not just promising heaven when you know very well that it is not there. In your country, what kind of safari? What kind of product? Is it practical? Somebody would like to come for 3 days, but would like to sample 3 national parks. They are not even together. Or 3 different products that are miles and miles away from each other. So it's the profile of the custodian brings out the practicality so that they excel in this ability to get the task done and maintain their promise and deadlines. And to them, they are not ready to give excuses after. They will ask so many questions to ensure that they are ready to deliver. And what they promise, they surely deliver. So let's look at this other profile called the cultivator profile. Cultivator, somebody who cultivates, somebody who takes care, ready to see some incremental adjustments, ready to change the environment so that they achieve the sustainable growth. So the cultivator profile is for somebody who likes to nurture growth. So they are not in a hurry. And remember, it's a secondary profile between the sustaining and the refining energy. They are not in a hurry. They want to ensure that they see the future of this company. They are the ones who guide and shape a team. And I don't know whether I'm right or wrong, but mostly I have seen that they are people who have been through it for a longer period of time. So their experience is the one that has taught them. And therefore guiding and shaping the team is taken as their job. And this takes place as they also make adjustments in preparation for the future growth, ensuring that they influence. And why are they influencing? They are seeking to adjust, to refine, and to develop for long-term achievements. It's not a hit and run. For them, they understand that a business is to be nurtured. And as a result of this, they are able to manage complex projects. They are able to manage complex deliverables. And they do all this well, making sure that the resources are carefully managed, making sure that the resources are carefully managed, and also mitigating risks in a timely manner. Very, very important, because if you don't mitigate risks, then it will mean that all that you have taken care of so much might not be able to sustain. Cultivating profile, very important in our businesses. So looking at, we now have the refining energy, and under the refining energy, we have the conductor and the calibrator. The conductor and the calibrator profile. Let's go through them very, very fast. Conductor profile. I don't know how many of us we have been in the choir. The youth choir, the mass choir, whichever kind of choir. A conductor is this person who is always in front of the choir or the orchestra and is looking at unified but optimal optimal energy in the music, very harmonized. A collective choir that is singing in harmony. So what does the conductor profile have to do with the team? This is somebody who have a profile of always looking at optimization of performance. So to them, they want to hear, how are we doing it? And as a result of them wanting to hear, they are always so keen on numbers, so keen on analysis, so that they are able to direct that team or project in a harmonized and unified way so that they can optimize the collective goal of that organization. So a conductor would like to make sure that the process, the system, the resources are optimal and utilized in a very, very efficient manner. They want to maintain the rhythm. They want also the tune to be in harmony with the music being played. So which kind of music are you playing? You need somebody to ensure that it is harmonized. And as we have said, this person will work so much with the data. This person would not like to hear anything without data. How did we perform? How did we do it? How are we going to get there? You have said that we want to increase our market share by 10% this year. How possible is that? And then the person goes and comes back with the figures for you to find meaningful insights through this information and analysis. So this person is very important in your team because they will always keep you on your toes. Remember, we said that the question they know how to answer better is how. So when you ask them what to do, that is not their question. When you ask them who is to do it, all they want to find out is how, to ensure that we are unified and we are optimizing our performance. So let's look at the last one there, which is the calibrator profile. Calibrator profile. And I don't know whether we have people of my age in the group that relates with the radios that were not automatically set. And this person, as you can see, is trying to fine tune. Nowadays, they are so automatic, such that I know if I'm looking for 90.7 Truth FM, I just need to punch some buttons and there it goes. 88.3, there it goes. 33.3, there it goes. And but in this era of this person, for a radio, you had to really tune it, fine tune. And that is the work of the calibrator in our organization, to fine tune the instruments. And in this case, our instruments, we are talking of the business model. Things have changed. We can no longer be the same. We need a change. They are the ones who fine tunes the system. They'll tell you, now we have a new system. We have new technology. We have new strategy. And to them, they want to continuously refine and adjust where necessary. And they're looking at working in a very systematic manner. They're looking at an environment that will lead them to fine-tune. Yes, you have come up with this product, but it can be fine-tuned to suit this kind of client. And what they do is that they always pursue continuous improvement and incremental refinement. So they are always, they are relentless. They are always trying to look for new things, trying to ask themselves, what can we bring in? What is a new thing that we can bring in? And to them, experimenting is their baby. They like experiments with new approaches to old problems. This is what I've been going through. But with this kind of new approach, this is what I would do. So for a career preparator, it's very important for them to get an environment where they can be able to test whatever they are doing. And now I think I have talked too much to myself. And therefore, Caroline, please bring up the second poll question. Would like to see from each one of you, which are the 3 profiles that resonates more with you from what we have discussed? We said that if you don't understand yourself, you'll not be able to understand the others. So question number 2 in the poll, which 3 profiles resonate more with you? Which 3 profiles resonates more with you? I think, Caroline, you can go down because that question is not complete. Is it possible to scroll down, Caroline?
Hi, Mary.
Yes.
That is the best I can do. 1, 2, 3. Can you see all the 8 questions or the answers?
The answers. If you scroll down, I can see like there's a scrolling option whereby you can be able to bring it down. We only have 4 choices.
Because on my screen, I've managed to scroll down and I can only see the evaluation poll in progress. I don't have access to...
Oh, sorry, I see. It's an individual's responsibility to go down.
Yeah.
Yes, I have done it on my side and I am able to see all of them. So,
so far, the most responses are for collaborator and coach. And then champion.
Okay.
And then the least is conductor, like nothing on conductor. And then custodian and catalyst.
Okay. Ladies, gentlemen, if we have any, let's move on. Let's do it. 1 more minute. In a minute time, just tell us which 3 profiles resonates with you. We've gone through the 8. And therefore, by now, you should be able to at least judge yourself. You need to know yourself better before you go to pick on others. Someone is saying that the submit button isn't active. Caroline?
I have a feeling that you also have to maybe click also on the first question again and then to submit.
No, they have said fixed. So
okay.
I believe it's fixed.
Okay. Last 30 seconds and then we can end the poll. So for those who have not provided their answers, So still the largest profile that has the biggest response is coach and collaborator, and then followed by cultivator and connector are equal. Conductor has the least, followed by custodian and then catalyst.
Okay. So are we done? Are we done?
Yes, we're done.
Okay, good. Good. Maybe you can share the polls thereafter. Thank you very much, ladies. You know, when you answer to these questions, I know that I'm not alone. At least I'm with people. Thank you very much, Caroline. And there we go. We have the first question, which was asking the kind of natural energy that we have in the room. And we can see that most of us are asking the question, who? That is the inspiring energy. We have the sustaining being number 2, when, and we have the 2 that is activating and refining that have tied. When it comes to the profiles, we have calibrator and coach tying. We have champion and connector and cultivator tying. We have catalyst, we have custodian, and we have conductor. Very good. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. It keeps me awake. And also now I think I'm not even feeling cold as I was when we were starting off. Thank you so much for that. So we've gone through the energies, we've gone through the profiles, and it is good to ask ourselves, after all this, how do we build the team with all these profiles that we have seen? We saw the primary and the secondary profile from the pendulum concept. And now here, you are trying to ask yourself, how do I get a mixture of all these? Most of us are in the inspiring section. That is, we are more coaching. So if you are a coach, what do you need? You need to combine the coaching energy with something that will come from the sustaining energy. So you can have a coach, you can have a custodian, and you can have a calibrator. Looking at the example that is on the screen, the example is on catalyst. So we have a catalyst who have selected a coach and has selected a cultivator. Looking at it, you can tell that the activating energy is taken care of. The inspiring energy is taken care of by the coach. We have the cultivator here who is taking care of the sustaining energy and the refining energy. If, for example, we had a champion, the champion can look for a connector and a conductor. In that, it means that at least you have either a primary or a secondary profile in your team. Why is it important? Because whether it is a primary or a secondary, at least you have that particular energy in your team. And as a result of having that energy in your team, you are able to move on with the other issues, because remember, this is natural energy, and we also have what we go to learn. And this is the upskilling that we talked about. So the natural energy is what flows no matter at what time you're woken up at night. That is your energy. There are those people who you wake them at night. If they're inspiring, they will inspire you. If they're sustaining, they'll tell you, hold on. When is it? If it's a refiner, who is it? So depending on what you have to ensure that you look for one in each of this sector. And when you take a secondary, like for example, in this case, the secondary here is cultivator. The cultivator is going to work on the sustaining and the refining energy. And therefore, the cultivator has to be a very, very strong person. So it is not just a person that you're bringing into the team, but it is a person with the a heavy profile in that particular role that they are coming to play. So experience will also matter. And remember, we said that things have changed, and therefore the teams that we are going to come up with need not necessarily be people inside the office. We are looking for people within and without. We are looking for people who we can be able to even hire part-time. We are looking for consultants that we need to bring in here and there. And therefore, it is not that all these 8 people will come into your team tomorrow. No, that is not what we are looking for. We are looking for a leaner company or a leaner structure, but with all the energies brought together. And as we said, a game can't be won by one person. So it is the teamwork that we are looking for. And this can only come as a result of working with profiles that touch all the energies. So what are the strategies to improve this team effectiveness? First of all, you don't need a big team to work with. We have said that the leaner, the better for you. Why is it? It is because you are still growing. And at each and every stage, the organization's growth will call for itself. But then we have to be careful. You remember the 80-20 Pareto principle? I don't know how many of us knows the 80-20, where roughly 80% of the effects come from about 20% of the causes. 80% of the team's effectiveness might be coming from 20% of the team members. So it is not the size of the team, it is what are they bringing in. And to get this, you need to clarify their mission. You need to identify them and make them accountable. You also need to set clear and challenging goals, not just goals, challenging but clear. But as we said, they have to be smart goals, not the ones that you give to people and they're looking at you like, is it real? Is it realistic? How do we do that? You also need to create a plan to increase the involvement and engagement of these team members. When you bring people into the team and they don't feel like you're involving them enough, you are engaging them enough, they start doing other things. And as a result of that, your productivity will not change. And remember, we said that this is a time that we're going to do away with what we called muda, that is waste. We are going to do away with waste. And this can only happen if you come up with the proper job descriptions. What is this person expected to do? Does this involve them 100%? Or do I need to get some part-time for this? It's also important for us to increase identification with the group. Let us always be there for them and with them. Have meetings with them. Let them know that they are not alone. Also conduct progressive review. How often do you review your team? If you don't review them as often as could be possible in your particular company, then it might bring in some ruggedishness. And it is important for us to know that this particular team is the one that is going to either make or break that company. And that is why we are so keen to coming up with that particular team that will give us the best. We have some free tools for team roles. These particular sites are free, but we also have some payable ones. Caroline will forward this presentation to you, and you'll be able to make use of this to look into your teams and understand who is doing what and who do you need to come back or to go. Some free tools there, but as I said, there are so many. I think now, particularly with the COVID, HR people have come up with so many, and even those that were free in the internet, sometimes last year, have now been commercialized. They are no longer free. So I come to the end of my presentation, but I would like to say that this topic of dream team cannot be exhausted without looking at the management tool that we have, the 8 sessions of the management tools, whereby we are able to move from the old business to a new business. And I believe that those who will be undergoing the coaching sessions will go through this. We need to know with these profiles, how do we match them with the management tools? Which profile is the best in identification of the market, in getting the message to the market, in building that cohesiveness in the team, in leveraging through marketing connections, in delivering to our expectation, that which is that energy that is pushing us, in managing risk and compliance, in optimizing those financial resources, and also in perfecting the system. Which profile will help us do each one of these? And to what extent have we implemented each of these? Because remember, we have been going through webinars and webinars. And as I said, it is not just coming for webinar, it is coming for it so that it can also help you in whatever you are doing. It can also help your company to move from where you are to where you are going. And I would like to say that the strongest tree don't grow on good soil. The strongest tree will always grow in an environment that is so windy, that is so stormy, because it has to be so strong such that it cannot be pulled down. So the stronger the team that you come up with, then the better it will be for you. And if I may ask you a question, how would your team respond to the question, what is your role here? If you come across your tour assistant and you ask them what their role is here, how would they respond to that? Do they have an answer to the question as it is? Remember, even the smallest role in the company that you have employed somebody for is because it was useful in that company. And this reminds me of the person who packed the parachute of those people who are going to the moon. And this person met the first person from the moon and asked, they told them they're the ones who packed their parachutes. So it is not the big title that does a great job, but it is all of us, if we are all working together, having the right team with the right value system, then we'll be able to get what we are calling the new business with the new team that we have come up with. So thank you very much. I hand over to Caroline for questions and answer sessions.
Thank you, Mary. Okay, so I do have a question from Veronica. She's asking, okay, wait, she has two questions actually. So for her, she's identified as a collaborator and she likes experimenting, but she finds it expensive to experiment. Is there a way to continue being a collaborator in terms of being innovative that is cost effective? I think Mary's connection cut a bit, so we'll just wait for her to log back in and then continue with the Q&A. Mary?
Hi, Caroline. This is Phyllis. Mary is asking you to unmute her.
Okay. She should be able to do it now.
Okay.
But I'll
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Phyllis. I was left wondering, I'm not able to unmute myself and I can hear Caroline very well. So thank you so much.
I did that. Yeah, I changed the Zoom control.
Okay.
Do you want me to read Veronica's question again?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so she's asking, she's identified herself as a collaborator and she likes experimenting, but experimenting is quite expensive. Is there a way that she can do it in a cost-effective way?
Thank you so much, Caroline, for that question, Veronica. And that is true. Experimenting is expensive. You have to give to get. And in every business, there are risks that you're going to take. And when it comes to experiment, there is no way that you're going to experiment and it becomes cheap. And you cannot experiment if you're not ready for the risk. So, yes, there are ways of reducing costs. And one of the ways is looking at those ahead of you, those who have done it ahead of you, doing more research to understand, is there anyone else who have done it? Getting through coaches. We talked of experts. So why do you need to reinvent the wheel? Maybe what you are experimenting has already been taken care of by someone else and the person has results, and therefore what you're looking for is just correcting the results. I think that is one of the things to lower costs in your calibrating profile. I don't know whether I've answered it to you.
Veronica, in case your microphone is working and you want to just follow up on that question, please feel free.
Thanks. This is Veronica. Thanks. She's answered it perfectly. Thank you.
Okay, and then the other question Veronica had is, subconsciously, you might end up hiring someone who is like you. How do you avoid that?
Best question, Veronica. Actually, it is the nature of human beings that we're always looking at those people who are like us. I personally have sat on various tables of recruiting panels. And the problem is when you look at that person who is like you. You want to replace yourself in the organization. And that comes in if you have not, first of all, understood who you are and what you are looking for. So the first assignment, before you even think of the team, is to sit down and ask yourself, who am I? Profile yourself. And then ask yourself, whom am I looking for? Because if you're not so clear in this, you'll end up getting another person who is like you. Instead of getting a complementer, you will get a competitor in the team. So, first of all, know who you are before you go on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would anyone else like to follow up with any questions?
Sorry, I am saying I can see Lillian asking if you can help me understand, how do I identify the energies? How do I identify the energies? Any member in the team that was present last week that would like to explain to Lillian? Any member in the team that would like to explain to Lillian? Because we covered this last week. Anyone? Okay, I would just like to respond to this briefly, Lillian, but maybe you can also get the recording of last Friday, which was quite elaborative. How do I identify the energies that I have? First of all, you need to understand what energy is, that state of flow, that you flow with no resistance or with very little resistance, and you unfold without struggle. That one where you can be able to come up and answer to something without struggle, particularly during those critical moments when you are under pressure, when a decision needs to be taken. And this decision will dramatically impact your results, either positively or negatively. Where or how do you respond? Are you the type that are always going for more and more, the activating energy? Or would you also be, and the activating energy, we said that they are asking what? So what is the next thing that we're gonna do? And as a result of asking what, you need to answer to this person by giving him or her a lot to think about. It could also be the inspiring energy, where you are the people person asking the who, or the sustaining energy, when do we do it? Or the refining energy, how do we do it? So I would urge you to go back to last week so that you are able, first of all, to understand the energies so that you can be able to identify yourself with the energy. Lillian, I don't know whether that suffices or you need more explanation.
Okay.
I can see Lillian has said she is getting a team. But I can see there's also a question from who? From Grace Wakesho. That, oh no, hers is a comment. I tried duplicating myself, but I realized that I can't. You duplicate yourself, you're bringing two energies, so it's good to understand the two. Patricia says that she was not able to join last week's webinar. Kindly send me the presentation, thank you. I believe this one also Caroline will do. Lillian is asking, how do I identify this energy from the team? I have given a set of free tools that you're able to see their profiles, and from their profiles, you'll also be able to see and ask them the right questions, and you see what kind of energy do they respond to. Are they the what people? Are they the who people? Are they the when? Or are they the how? Because if you identify who they are through these questions and through these four energies, then you'll be able to get the team for yourself, as we have gone through different profiles today. I don't see any other question. Caroline, do you have any question from your end?
No, I don't have any more questions, but I guess I have one for you. So with the profiles, are you limited to just being in one specific primary profile, or can you have qualities, two primary qualities from the profiles? For instance, you could be a collaborator and then also the main one on the sustainability, on the sustaining energy part.
Yes, you're asking about the profiles.
Yeah, so I'm asking if you're only limited to having one primary profile, or can you have existing two profiles within you and they're more primary than secondary?
Okay, now if you look at this, the profiles or even the energies will change depending on your experience and exposure. Upskilling yourself will help you to get some of these energies, depending on the consistency also that you practice onto them. Like, for example, some people are not mathematics people. So finance is almost completely out of them. But then they go to upskill themselves, finance for non-financial managers, and they get in flow with numbers. And now it means that they not only have the other energy that they had, but because of the acquired, this is not natural, this is now acquired. They have now acquired a different profile altogether, and they can be able to question based on their experience and exposure. So it is possible. And actually you find that people who have self-mastery of themselves, people who are looking forward to making their organizations, and particularly as leaders, trying to understand all that is going on, because it's important for you to understand. You're not the one doing it, but just try and understand what is this that this person is doing, because it's also based on that you're also able to value whatever this person is doing. Then it opens you up to different kinds of energies, different kinds of profiles. I hope that has answered you, Caroline.
Yes, it has. It's really, really interesting. Does anyone else have any questions for Mary? Okay, I see not. Okay, then on my end, if Mary, you're happy, we can conclude the webinar.
Thank you so much, Caroline. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank SheTrade team, and not only SheTrade team, but the participants, because as I said the other day, without you, this cannot be, it cannot happen. But it is as a result of you being there, availing yourself, showing yourself, that is making it a success. And as I said earlier, it is important that we don't just take it for another webinar. We make use of what we have learned. We make use of, and now we have undertaken, I think, 12 sessions. Go back to them. I thank Caroline because she always says the recorded and also any tool and any presentation that was shared. It is important for us to keep going back so that we can make it our lifestyle. We can be able to change ourselves. And this is not only for business, it is also for you as an individual. It is not just your business. So thank you so much, team. Thank you so much, the participants. And maybe because I'm the only one who you can hear, I can do a virtual applause for all of us. And we have won, and we'll make it and make it bigger. Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you so much, Mary. It has been a great month having these sessions with you. And just before we all log off, please remember to register for the coaching program, which will take place mid-July all the way to March 2021. Our trainers are going to be Mary, Angela Njehia, and one of our trainers called Sunny Dolat, who is an expert on product development and also communications. So the next webinar series will start next week on the 17th, same time, 2 p.m. Swiss time, 3 p.m. Kenya time, 12 p.m. Ghana time. For those who are interested to join the coaching, please note that that webinar is mandatory as it sets the stage for the coaching for that whole month, which will focus on regional and domestic product development. On the registration, please just log into your online profile, the SheTrade's Commonwealth online profile, and go to your activities page and find the mentoring filter, and then you can find the link. And also, please remember to read and sign the terms and conditions, and also upload it on your online registration. For those who are not SheTrade's Commonwealth members and you're a woman-owned business, please create your profile, and then we will go through the verification process, and then you'll be able to also register via the online platform. Based on that, I will share the recordings and the PowerPoint presentations with you. So I want to wish you all a very good weekend ahead, and hopefully see you all next week as well. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Caroline. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Caroline.